Well, let's call the statewide ACC January 27th, 2025 meeting to order. Is Matt on the line, Carrie?
No, not yet.
Okay. Matt is actually doing some training, so he will probably be joining us a little bit later. There are a few items I wanted to just discuss before we went into closed session. One has to deal with responding to emails or other correspondence from complainants. Most of the members probably haven't seen those, but we do on occasion get them, and I want to make sure we have a policy on how we respond to those individuals. We've actually had a couple complainants where they are frequent travelers in the complaint department, so to speak, and they've actually been handled through the state police or DPSCS, and but I do think I want to make sure that we understand that when we do get complaints, we should be responding to them and understand when we're not responding. The next item I want to discuss, and maybe I wanted to get Matt on here because it has to deal with the vehicle accidents. I thought we had this cleared up when we have vehicle accidents where the member of the public hits the police officer. I know at one point we were told not to hear those cases. And then I thought we were told we were supposed to. Carrie and I were discussing this, and she believes that we're not supposed to hear them. So I wanted to hear from Matt or Stuart what you believe the intent of the legislation was. And we don't necessarily need to have an answer at this moment, but it's something that we do need to revisit just to make sure we're being consistent and we have clarity.
Let me try to discuss that with Matt.
Okay.
When he's available.
The next item had to deal with cases that we don't believe were in the jurisdiction. Judge Mitchell actually said he wants us to make those determinations in our meeting. I will do that. I will tell you, I have in the past have actually had emails with Maryland State Police asking me if I thought something was in the jurisdiction, and actually last month I actually got one and I said no, but in the future I will just tell them we'll submit it, hear it, and make the determination in our meeting. And
let me clarify. May I clarify?
Sure.
I wasn't sure what our policy was until I knew. I thought maybe we ought to discuss it. Maybe
well,
for my education.
And it's a good point. What I'm going to jump ahead to the next item, and that is I received a memo from Adam Flash. He's our liaison to the governor's office, and he has put together a memorandum that I saw in draft form last week, talking about our support being formalized to be housed with the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. And it had a number of the items in which we are asking them to assist us with. It's primarily administrative and legal support. With that, one of the things I sent back to Adam was I wanted to make sure and make it clear that the department assist by putting together our policies and procedures. And Judge Mitchell, that's where I think this issue of making determinations should reside within that policy. And the policies that we need to follow, I don't think are going to be that difficult to create because all the counties already have them, and we can, I don't have a problem plagiarizing what the counties have done and make it work for our purposes. The other thing that I'll share with the members is that Adam, on a separate email, had a matrix for compensation for the committee members. I believe he was suggesting $20,000 for the chairman and $15,000 for the other members. And last year, the payments were made in July 1st. So I'm not sure where their timing is and how they plan to do it, but they're arranging the monies to come through the agencies that submit cases to us. the state police agreed to step up the contributions, and there's a number of agencies he's revisiting, trying to get them on board. So that's where we are with those issues. Before I ask to go into closed session, is there anything anybody else wants to add for the greater cause?
Did you want to discuss the annual report at all?
Why don't you tell us where you are? I let us know.
So here, I can show what I've got so far. I'll kind of show just what our data looks like at the moment. All right, can everyone see that?
Yes. Sure.
Yes.
So we've got, let's see, hold on, let me switch here to the other window. So here's all our calculations. And the calculations kind of add up all of the things. We had 705 allegations last year, and we had 439 officers total. All the agency's findings are listed here. The ACC's findings are listed here. And then we have the cases and the civilian, all that information is in here as well. We also calculate the penalties and the allegations. And then all of that dumps into these graphs, which just are nice and pretty. And then this all goes into a format. It's got, you know, a little bit of, oh, here, you know what, I can show you that one as well. I have a rough draft going of the annual report. So this is what the annual report will look like. And then it's got a nice little memo that Bob will review. I haven't sent it to him yet, but it just kind of goes over the summary of what we've done. And then it goes into the members, the staff, the history of how we do everything, and then bios, which will, this one's good for now. Judge Mitchell, you'll get added into the next one. And then the data dashboard is just all of those other numbers. Oh, we lost Judge Mitchell. And then all of this gets dumped into the report with all of the fun graphs. So
Great.
That's just kind of a snapshot. Before this gets anywhere, it'll be sent to Bob, and then it'll be sent to all the members. And then we can make whatever edits that we need to. Any questions? Oh, we have an outside guest that has joined. So are there any questions on any of this?
No, we'll just continue working on this. And go ahead.
Yep, I do have a request, and not to lay anything else on you additional, Carrie, but if we could do the charges by agency, if we could aggregate that out.
Possibly.
I know.
It's a whole lot of like formulas and pulling information from here and there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Here, let me go back to the other ones. We can make it happen.
No, I just because I work in the advocacy circle, and that's one of the things that came up.
That was Judge Mitchell just called. He's actually out of state and he lost his connection. He's going to try to get back in. If not, I will you do the call over my phone here, as we did a couple times with Mayor Schmoke.
Okay.
Okay. With that, I think we need to
Hold on, Bob. We're still talking.
Sorry.
So we have it listed. We could pull the allegations. That's something I'll have to talk to Matthew about as well. I'm not sure what information all he wants in there and if he really wants to break it out that refined. But it is definitely something that I will sit down with Katie, who did this last year. She and I can sit down and see. So do you want to see the allegations, or do you want all of it broken out by agency?
I thought we did it by agency last year, Carrie.
No,
Yes.
we didn't break it out with the allegations and all that kind of stuff. We just did a summary of all of them.
And for the other members that aren't here, I can send you last year's annual report so you can at least see the format that we used, if you'd like that. Or Carrie, you can send it to them.
Yeah, it's on our website too.
And then when you get down to the draft, you can begin circulating to the members and get their feedback.
Yep. And Donna, I will work on seeing what I can do about different formats and information in different ways and see what I can find. I might just pull out maybe the allegations.
Mhm.
Because some of the penalties, I mean, I guess we could probably pull penalties as well, but I don't know if they'll coincide.
Yeah, that's not they want to see what the allegations are at least.
Okay.
By
Yep.
agency.
Yep, I will see what we can pull together. We have the data. It's just a matter of finding the right calculation.
Yep. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay. With that, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Can we do the
Sorry, I always
the statement first for the conflict of interest?
Yes, please. It's Bob Brennan. I have read all the reports and reviewed the information, and I do not have any conflicts of any of the cases. Rodney?
I'm sorry, Rodney Burrell. I read all the reports and information for this month's briefings, and I have no conflicts of interest.
Donna?
I am Donna Brown. I have read the reports and I have no conflicts of interest.
And Judge Mitchell?
I'm David Mitchell. I've read all the reports. I've reviewed the information, and I have no conflicts of information
Great.
or conflicts of interest, rather.
Okay. With that, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
So move.
Get this. Donna,
I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're now in the closed session. Carrie, do you-
Okay, since we have a guest, let me just explain that once I read this session, I will put you into a waiting room. And then when we are done and we go back to open session, I will bring you back into the main room. Just a heads up, this could possibly be 2 hours-ish
who is our
before you get brought back in.
guest?
Michael Arrington.
And what is their purpose for being on the call?
Michael, could you please put in the chat? Not answering.
Can he?
All right, let me read the statement and then I'll put him into a waiting room and see if I can
Okay.
figure out. All right, it is proposed that the Statewide Administrative Charging Committee's open session of its 25th meeting on January 27th, 2025 be adjourned to a closed session. The session will be closed under the authority of General Provisions Article 3-305B 1, 2, and 7 of the Annotated Code of Maryland. The reason for closing this session is to discuss the appointment and employment of an individual over whom the committee has jurisdiction and to protect the privacy or reputation of an individual with respect to a matter that is not related to public business, and to obtain legal advice on the matter. During this closed session, the topics to be discussed are Administrative Charging Committee cases. Okay, give me a second. Let me put him in a waiting room.
And please let him know this could go well over 2 hours.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. He said, understood. Thank you.
Saw it. Okay. Gary, we're back in the open session. Did the person that,
I believe he's gone, but let me close them and see if he comes back in.
right,
No, he's gone.
okay, that's,
May I ask who he was?
His name was Michael Arrington. He did put in the chat that he's heard about us from new laws and regulations in the state, and he's interested in possibly joining the board. There was nothing further from him. We do not know where he is from. I think he is just a random member of the public.
Thank you.
if he were to contact you, tell him that if he's interested, he should submit his name to the appointments officer, to the speaker and the president.
Understood, will do.
Okay. To recap, back in our open meeting with Maryland State Police, we heard 61 allegations. There, 4 of those were not determined not to be in our jurisdiction. 31 were not administratively charged, 18 were unfounded, 13 were exonerated, and 25 were administratively charged. And Maryland Transit Administration, we had, I'm sorry, Maryland Transit Administration, we had 7 allegations, 6 were administratively charged, 3 were unfounded, 3 were exonerated, and 1 was administratively charged. Then under the Maryland Transportation Authority, we had 4 allegations. 2 were returned for incomplete files. The other 2 were administratively charged. Under Department of Natural Resources, we received 8 allegations. 1 was not in our jurisdiction, as the officer was no longer employed as a law enforcement officer. 5 were not administratively charged. 5 of those were exonerated, and 2 were administratively charged. And then the last is the file from Maryland Capitol Police, which is being returned with 4 allegations for more information to be provided for the ACC to consider. And that wraps it up for January of 2025. It was quite a long agenda today. I really appreciate everybody's time to participate, and thought our engagement and discussions was quite robust today.
I do have 2 cases that came in late on Friday. I will forward them to you when I return from vacation. Give your guys' minds a break for a little bit. I'll send them to you.
So
I come
wonderful,
back
Karen.
on February 4th. So I will forward them at that time.
Great. And then our next meeting I have scheduled for February 24th.
That is correct.
Okay, mark your calendars. Great. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time again.
Okay.
Have a
Bye,
great one,
everyone.
you all.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your vacation, Carrie.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.